Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about the Kikuyu customary marriage procedures, and I'm going to narrate the whole process. With the increase of intermarriages and with the increase of people intermarrying and even marrying the Kenyan Kikuyu women, there have been some people who are not really much informed or not aware about the customary marriage procedures in the Kikuyu tribe. This is what we're going to learn about today, and I hope you're going to enjoy. Now, I'm going to start right away. In modern Kikuyu times, Kikuyu dowry payment still presides a wedding amongst Kikuyu people. The dowry payment is in a series of events. Namely, there are 5 series of events, and one of them is Komenya Moshie, getting to know the bride's home in 2 key visits. Now, the second one is Kohada Idege, planting a branch of tree, and which means to open the way of actual dowry negotiations, and during which the Kuonorwo Mete may also take place on the same day as Korashia. Now, the third is Korashia or Rorashio, which is very common. Now, the meaning of this is the actual dowry payment which lasts a lifetime and not paid in full. Note that very careful. Now, the fourth one is Kuonio Itara. Kuonio Itara. Now, the lady getting to see where firewood was stored in the traditional kitchen, which is a visit to the groom's homestead. Now, the fifth and the last one is Kogareria or Otinia Kiade. The traditional Kikuyu wedding may be replaced with a Christian church wedding. Now, as I have I have gone through the steps, there are 5. Now we are going to go through each one of them, and I'm going to explain or narrate a bit deeply to make everyone understand. Now, we're going to start with the first step, which we said is called Komenya Moshie, getting to know the bride's home. This involves getting to know the bride's home in 2 low visits. The visit is made up of 2 parts. The first one is the first Komenya Moshie by young men. The second one is Komenya Moshie by the elders. Now, we're going to go again to the second step, which is called Kuhada Ibege. Kuhada Ibege, which means, or directly translated, means planting a branch of tree. It is to open the way for actual dowry negotiations, and during which the Kuonorio Mete takes place. May take place on the same day as the Korashia process. Now, we're going to the third procedure, which is Korashia. It is very common in our day-to-day life, and it's commonly heard among those people who are getting married. Now, assuming the groom's family is ready with the dowry, the men, Aduri, proceed to give the required items in succession and await concurrence by elders from the bride's family after each item in the Idoshia Aduri list. Now, then the women, Atumia, proceed to give the items to the women from the bride's family. Each item, from the bride's family, after each item in the Ido-Shia Atumia list. As you can see, there is a list of giving the items. One is Ido-Shia Adhuri. Adhuri are the men. And the second one is Ido-Shia Atumia. Now, I'm going to slowly go back to this step and try to narrate it quite understandably. Assuming the groom's family is ready with the dowry, the men, Adhuri, proceed to give the required items in succession and await concurrence by elders from the bride's family, after each item in the Ido-Shia Adhuri list. Then the women, Atumia, proceed to give the items to the women from the bride's family after each item in the Ido-Shia Atumia list. Now, we're going to the next procedure, and which is our third one. No, it's the fourth one. Kuonio Itara. This is a visit by the bride, accompanied by her family, to the groom's homestead. She is meant to see the new kitchen where she will be cooking from, and be guided by her new mother-in-law in this place, on how she has set it up. Itara was the place in the traditional kitchen where firewood was stored. Some explain the Itara, which also means nest, as the bride's new homestead or nesting place. Sounds really interesting. This visit is designed to enable the two families to interact in a celebratory atmosphere and get to know each other better. The catering costs of this visit are covered by the father of the groom, who is the host, and Kuonio Itara process begins. Really interesting. Now, again to our fifth process, Kikuyu wedding traditions, which is Koguraria or Wotinia Kiade. This is called Gurario or Wotinia Kiade, cutting off one of the front limbs of a fattened lamb. It takes place at the bride's family home. It is ordinarily done by couples who are already married and have lived together for a number of years. In a few cases, the groom might decide to visit the bride's home and finalize Gurario before the Christian wedding takes place. The husband, after staying with the wife for some time, maybe after the wife has given birth to a few children, will decide to perform this ceremony, popularly known as Gurario or Wotinia Kiade. The husband, accompanied by some friends and relatives, make a visit to the father-in-law's homestead, so as to be told what items to bring before the Gurario day. This will ordinarily be items that remained unfulfilled during the earlier Rorashio. In fact, a Rorashio, Kwegera Rorashio, a Rorashio, or into brackets, Koigera Korashia, is scheduled to take place during the Gurario. The list of items will be read out as the secretary from the husband's side writes the items down, although the Gurario required are standard. Now, we are going to go down we are done with the Kikuyu customary marriage. Customary marriage procedures. And from what I have read or what I've narrated, there are 5 procedures. The first one being Komenya Moshi, getting to know the bride's home, which is divided into 2. The first visit, we said, Komenya Moshi by young men. The second visit, we said, Komenya Moshi by the elders. Now, the second step we have seen is Kuhada Izege, which means planting a branch of tree. This one is to open the way for an actual dowry negotiation, and during which the Kuonorio Mete takes place. May take place on the same day as Korashia. Now, the third one we have seen is Korashia, or it's also called Rurashu. That's the actual dowry payment, which lasts a lifetime and not paid in full. The fourth one we have said is Kwonyo Itara. Kwonyo Itara is when the lady gets to see where the firewood was stored in the traditional kitchen, which is a visit to the groom's homestead. The last one is Koguraria or Otiniakiade. This is the Kikuyu traditional wedding. It may be replaced with a Christian church wedding. This is a very, very, very interesting and important kind of information which not everyone who lives in our day-to-day life knows about. Most of us young people, we would love and so much like to have our traditional Kikuyu weddings, but what we fail is the procedures and the information on how and what is expected and what is supposed to be done. Now, I'm going to go through the Kikuyu cultural marriage standards. Young men today are having a hard time because there are no rules and some people have become very greedy. The Kikuyu dowry is still negotiated in terms of cows, goats, and honey. Once the price has been determined, it is now converted into cash. The elders leave a major down payment and a day is then set for the wedding. Kikuyu dowry negotiations are usually done over several weeks and months. The balance can take years to pay. Usually, the family never asks for the balance. If the man doesn't finish paying the balance, then he begets a daughter. She cannot be married unless he finishes paying the balance. This is very embarrassing and most people avoid this. If they never have children, then the man's family is left with a stain that they never honor their word, and this becomes common knowledge. For these reasons, the bride price loan, in this word, into quotes, loan, is always paid up. When the bride price is finally paid up, there is a ceremony done. This in the olden days signified a marriage. The family of the bride usually kill a goat and they give the front legs to the husband. This signified that he has now the husband of the woman and that he and not her father bears the full responsibility for her. This practice is still done even today. Now, we're going to go down to the Kikuyu culture, which is the Christian marriage ceremony. Grab your cup of tea as we continue with this interesting information about the Kikuyu marriage procedures. Now, the Christian marriage ceremony. For Christians, the Gurario ceremony has been replaced by the Christian marriage. However, some may opt to conduct the Gurario either before the Christian wedding, or wait until much later after they have settled down with the wife. The Gurario may be considered as a celebration of marriage, and some people do it on their 5th to 10th year anniversary. The whole community usually gets involved. The women team up and organize the menu, and they contribute the food. The young men and women team up and raise funds for the wedding. This is done through a pre-wedding party. The young men arrange for transportations and refreshments. The girl's family is usually responsible for the bride's dress and the younger children who will be in the wedding party. The bride chooses her bridesmaids, and she usually chooses from both sides, both families. Now, and that includes her friends. Kikuyu weddings are usually huge. It is not uncommon to find the bridal party of 20. Now we're going to go further ahead, and this is about Kikuyu culture on the eve of the wedding. On the day before this Christian wedding, the young man brings women from his village to visit his future in-laws for the drinks ceremony. Kurehe soda. It's called kurehe soda, bringing of refreshments, or also called kurehe oshoro, bringing of the porridge. Oshoro is porridge. They usually come not just to visit, but to support the bride's family, who will be cooking all night. For the ceremony, the night before the wedding, they bring with them drinks, that is drinks like soda, sour millet porridge, oshorowa ogebe, that's how it's called, and so on and so forth. This is really a way for the Kikuyu women folk to socialize with each other and build some ties. It is not uncommon for a few men to attend from the man's side to render any assistance and escort the ladies. As they get closer to the house, they all start hooting their cars, and they don't stop until they are allowed in the bride's homestay. This is so interesting. I hope you can see or just witness this live. It's really a nice moment. When the hooting starts, the village women from the bride rush to the gate and block it. They block the gate. The negotiations for the entrance then begin. Another hot step. This time, it is done in form of music and songs. The women sing that they didn't hear the strangers. The strangers are the groom's friends and families. Come and why do they sing? They didn't hear the strangers come, And why do they want to steal their daughter away? This is so interesting. Oh my God. I love my culture. It just gets more interesting and more sweeter. You see, they start complaining and they saying that they didn't hear the strangers come. And why do they even want to steal their daughter away? They are requested to go back and return in the right way. The groom's team may have to drive back about half a mile and then return. The Kikuyu women then ask for blankets, sugar, tea, soda pops, and other small items. The idea behind is our daughter used to cook and make tea for us. We don't know who can replace her. All this is done through song and dance. And the young man, this is his mother's domain, usually brings a woman who will be the main negotiator in the song saga. This can go on for about an hour. The young man's team is then let in. The items that they are requested are then shared out among the villagers. The Kikuyu women then join in the festivities and the all-night cooking. In modern times, there are no longer the all-night cooking parties. There are no longer the all-night cooking parties since most weddings are catered by professional cooks. This ceremony, however, is still observed in the days preceding the wedding. Wow, very interesting. It's a very, very interesting procedure. Wow. I think I'm going to end this video right there. Otherwise, it's going to be really long. Join me in the next video and let's learn more about my Kikuyu culture and my Kikuyu traditions. Thanks for joining me. Share this video, give it a thumbs up, and give me some comments or likes. Goodbye.